Hey guys, it is Mitch, Grandad Gunner TV, and this is our first live. So we've been working hard in the background, and it's derby time. Okay, so the obvious is a North London derby from our first game in 1887. It's been all about the Battle of North London. It's been a battle for geographical superiority. Obviously, Arsenal supporters coming from Islington, and obviously Spurs supporters coming from the borough of Who Cares. So no matter each time that Arsenal are following any kind of trend, it doesn't matter if we're winning, if we're losing, if we're drawing, if we're playing poorly, if we're playing really nice, attractive football. Whenever we come up against the Spurs, it's always hotly contested because of the rivalry that is associated with the game. Now, fun fact, Spurs they haven't won at the mighty Emirates since 2010. And another thing is there has only been one goalless North London derby in the 21st century. So I find that very interesting. Tonight at 10:50 Australian Eastern Standard Time, Spurs come to the home of Arsenal. They come to the majestic, the magnificent, the Emirates Stadium. And we host them, and they bring with them new players, they bring with them a new manager, and they bring with them a new style of play. Now, being an Australian, I am a little concerned. However, nothing that we can't handle. But Ange Postecoglou has been a football manager that has been so well respected here in Australia for many, many years. I have followed Ange's entire career when he started coaching right back, talking about in a city in Sydney. And the man has evolved so much at every single appointment he gets. It's a credit to him. Ange Ball has been bantered about the Premier League now that he manages that mob down the road. But the reality is Ange Ball is real. Ange Ball is where players have to play with seamless transitions. It's always attacking. He doesn't know any other way of playing football. It's always attacking, and it's not position by position. If you're a left back, you've got to get back to left back. If you're a centre mid, you've got to get back to your spaces that you govern, that you police throughout the game. If you're a left back and there's a space that's open and you're not supposed to be there, he doesn't care. He wants you in that spot if you're the closest player. And the one thing in our favour that I think we've got going in our favour is that Ange Ball hasn't been around Tottenham for very long at all. And I suppose that is where it comes into favour for us, because Tottenham haven't learnt exactly what Ange wants to do with his style of play. He wants seamless transitions. So to have seamless transitions in every part of play, whether you're in possession, out of possession, it doesn't matter. To Ange, a player is a player. And I don't think Tottenham have got the chemistry right yet. That's the reality. There's going to be a lot of change at Tottenham. And don't get me wrong, this is an Arsenal channel, but Tottenham have been playing it's been good to watch. The football they've been playing has been good to watch. So I'm not going to say that their football hasn't been exciting. It has. It has. Sadly, they are playing exciting football. And I understand why Spurs fans are excited. But getting back to us, they're coming to our home on our turf. And like I said, Tottenham have not won at the majestic Emirates Stadium since 2010. So I think we've got a really good crack to the point where if Tottenham come to us and they play Ange Ball, which I believe they will, because I know Ange as a manager and as a person, and he sticks to his principles like you wouldn't believe. I personally think that if they do play that style of football, we cut them to shreds. You cannot come to Arsenal. You cannot come to our home and try and attack us unless you have got the chemistry. Yes, you've got some great players that are starting to act like great players. Unless Tottenham come and there's some Son brilliance and Basuma bosses the midfield and Maddison is allowed to create, I can't see Tottenham doing anything but epic failure. I honestly believe we win this game 3-0. I really do. And I'll tell you, as long as we've got key players that we shut down, I mean, like I said on last week's episode with Everton, when we were playing Everton, the curse of Goodison Park. Well, guess what? It's no longer a curse. We won. So, again, what we're talking about here is key players in which to shut down. And the key players, the 4 key players that I've put up on that list, one is Adugi. Now, he's a 20-year-old Italian-Nigerian, hell of a mix. He's a left back. Now, he is actually quite a talent. He's a player you like to watch play. But he is key. If we can get past that kind of edge, Adugi also holds a little bit on attack. Now, when I said about Everton and I said, Beto was their main man and then set pieces was their second best player, I meant it. But Tottenham, to their credit, they have some pretty classy players. And Basuma, obviously, the 27-year Ivory Coast international. That is going to be an excellent battle, a face-to-face. Boom, boom, boom. Basuma versus Rice. That is going to be a battle. One of the battles that I believe is going to determine whether we own our midfield or whether Tottenham own us. And that's the reality. If they come and play attacking football, it is Rice against Basuma. That is going to be epic to watch. The other one is the brilliance of the older statesman. Let's be honest, Son is now 31 years old. Yes, he is the South Korean destroyer. I get it. He's a very classy player. But he's on the other side of the hill, in my opinion, 31 years old. He does have brilliance and he does have good positioning and he does have a lot of Premier League experience. So I look at him as an absolute threat. Now, Son can't do his raging runs and he can't run down through us unless Maddison is being creative. So Maddison, for me, this is the big one tonight. Tonight at 10:50 Australian Eastern Standard Time, you have got an hell of a match to watch. We have got Maddison versus Captain Fantastic, Martin Odegaard. Now, Maddison has been playing out of his skin for Spurs this year. He really has. He's been playing progressive football, very, 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 very smart football, man. His composure has been exceptional, but his creativity is what's excited me about watching football because I love football in general, obviously. But I think Odegaard wins that battle. And again, if Rice is beating Basuma and then you have got Odegaard beating Maddison, then we're in good stead. And we dominate the game and we tear Spurs to shreds. Now, if Maddison overcomes Odegaard in midfield, then that brings in Richarlison. Now, most Arsenal supporters will go, who? Richarlison, who? I get it. He's like the invisible man, the missing ghost. I get it. But if Maddison is dictating terms in the midfield, then Richarlison will get some opportunities. And to be honest, I think he's got better under Ange in a very, very short time frame. His positioning play has always let him down. And I believe his positioning play has definitely got better. So I think that's the thing. Now, as I was saying before, Ange Ball. Talk about Ange Ball. We can call it whatever you want. I've been watching it for years and years and years here in Australia, then in Japan, and then obviously in the Scottish League. So I've been watching Ange for a very, very long time. Obviously, our international team as well, the Socceroos. So Ange Ball is about pure, fluid, attacking football. It is about seamless transitions. It's about being in space or creating space around where the ball will be. And I don't think Spurs have shown the tactical awareness, or I said earlier, the chemistry that Ange expects from his team moving forward at this particular point in time. He will get better, and they will get better. Trust me on that. They will get better. They will be more fluid. But right now, they're not as fluid as I believe Ange expects, but they are slowly getting better. So Arsenal fans, I think Spurs will be one to definitely look out for in the future. Ange ball is real, and it does have a real impact on the way football is played. Now, if we talk about as far as predictions and things like that, then I think we win. And I think we win comfortably. And the reason I think we win is because no team has come to our home and tried to dictate play. And that's really the key. If you set up and you want to attack the Arsenal at the home of the Arsenal, good luck. Good luck. Because if you've got your defensive line up on halfway, we've got so much space to exploit behind you. And we have the talent and we have the speed in our team that will tear you to shreds, Tottenham. So if you come and you dare play Ange ball at our home, we will teach you a football lesson. End of story. Now let's talk about our formation, because there's a couple of interesting ones here as far as the formation is concerned that I think that the Arsenal team that will play at home tonight. So firstly, let's talk about our keeper. Now, I've gone on record of saying that I wasn't one of these people that said, oh, he's going to be our number one with Raya coming in. Oh, that's not going to change. We love Rambo. We love Rambo. Don't get me wrong. I love Rambo. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a brilliant talent. English number one. He's a wonderful player. But I'm an old school granddad gunner. And I want to win. And that's what I'm used to doing, is winning. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, Mikel Arteta, you took out Rambo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my hands together for our super Mick Arteta of being ruthless and understanding that Raya is a better keeper. And for us to get better as a team and challenge for trophies and eventually win trophies, we need to be better at every position. And I think Raya gives us that better long distance distribution. He's exceptional at that. He's a great shot stopper. And I think he excels at coming and receiving the ball when balls are crossed into the box, where Rambo tends to have more of a defensive approach rather than come out to the ball. He doesn't have that confidence. And I think every Arsenal fan who's watched him since he signed for us, that he's a great shot stopper. He's great with distribution, but his long ball distribution and his coming for crosses is not at the same caliber as David Raya, the Spanish international. So given that scenario, I personally think that Raya starts again in goal. Now, if he doesn't, that's also fine, because that would mean that whatever Arteta said about 2 players per position, it's ringing true. So again, I won't be upset if Rambo starts in goal. Now, there's been talk about Ben White signing a new contract, and that's fantastic, man, because I love Ben White. What he has brought to our club since signing from Brighton has been nothing short of a breath of fresh air. He doesn't say a lot. His actions speak louder than his words, and I love that about Ben White. So giving him an opportunity to sign another long-term contract, along with our captain, fantastic, Martin Odegaard, Saliba, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli. I mean, the list goes on. We are so lucky. Rambo's on a long-term deal as well. So I don't believe all this noise about Rambo wants to leave Arsenal. I don't believe that for a second. Is he disappointed he's not playing because Raya is plainly a better keeper? Yeah, I'd be disappointed too. But do I think he comes back? Do I think he fights for a spot? I do, because that's the caliber of players that Arsenal sign. I truly believe 60%. 60% of all our signings is about character, and 40% is just pure talent. I really believe that. Look at Yuri and Timber. Man, that kid has been through hell, and yet his mentality is, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to get faster, I'm going to get better, and I'm coming back. And that's the kind of player we want at the Arsenal. So, yeah, so we go with Ben White at right back. We go with our captain in the midfield, our absolute wall, our stopper, and that is William Saliba. We go with our classic sweeper defender in Gabby Magalhaes, and then we go with our inverted left back, our older statesman, but very, very critical to the way we play our football, and that is Zinchenko. Now, obviously, there is no reason why we don't just stick to our guns and go with the man that is Declan Rice. He will always start. There is no way he won't start. Let's be real. So Declan will definitely start. And that's going to be one hell of a battle between him and Basuma. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that battle determines the possession. It determines the control, and it determines how much creativity you actually have in the final third. So I think Declan Rice dominates Basuma in this particular game. It's his first London derby, and I'm telling you, man, he will want to own and pocket Basuma. And I can't wait to watch it tonight. Remember, guys, tonight, 10:50 Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's an early game for Aussie supporters. Yes, finally, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock to watch the Arsenal. All right, so let's get back to it. Yep, we play Havertz. We definitely play Kai Havertz. I am one of those people that actually is a big supporter of Kai Havertz. I understand, and if you go back to my videos, you'll understand I do a whole give you a breakdown of why I think Kai Havertz is a great signing for Arsenal. But I've also been critical of his work as well. I've also been critical of his positioning, his lack of runs, where I can see that these runs are open, and I can see it. I can see it clearly, and he hasn't made those runs. So I have been very critical of him as well. But I think we're a better team with Havertz in the team. I really do. And that might be controversial, and I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'll have your comments on that. And then, of course, we've got Odegaard. So Odegaard, again, I think that's going to be really critical, when you're talking about Maddison versus Odegaard. That's going to be an interesting one. That really is. That will also determine the level of creativity that any team has, whether we are going to push back or whether we're going to look for that gap, those gaps behind the defence. So I think that's really big. Look, there's been some chatter today here in Australia that Trossard's some kind of leak or something that Trossard may not be playing. I find that bizarre anyway. But in my normal squad, if he is available and that leak is all, hum-gaboo, then yeah, Trossard definitely starts in place of Martinelli. We know Martinelli has a bit of a hamstring twinge. We still don't know the whole extent of his injury. Let's hope it's not anything crazy or major. So yeah, I think Trossard starts. Now, don't get me wrong. If Trossard doesn't start because this rumor is true, I'm not too concerned, to be honest, because you have Reece Nelson. Okay, sure, he's normally on the right, but he can play both sides. And you've got Emile Smith-Rowe. Again, I would put him in an Odegaard role. I would definitely have him as a cam, but he can play wide forward. So I'm not really concerned, to be honest. We've got really good depth this year, and I think that's one really major thing that's changed compared to last year, and it's made us a better team. And if we just had Yuri and Timber, but we don't, and we wish him all the best on his recovery, and we'll wait until he's fit and then comes back into this amazing Arsenal squad. So, yeah, so we have Trossard in a perfect world. If not, it's either going to be Reece Nelson or ESR, man. I love that kid. ESR, put him on that wing. Obviously, we have the Nigerian wonder boy, Saka. I've said a lot of things to a lot of people who have given Saka's not world-class. And I'm saying, Saka's world-class. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's not world-class until he does it at Champions League level. Well, didn't he do it at Champions League level? 7 minutes and 21 seconds. Bus Bakayo, the wonder boy, Saka, smashes a ball across the keeper into top bins. We know the kid is that good. We know that he is a future legend in Arsenal. And if you don't know that, then you don't know what you're looking at, man. You either do or you do. You know what I'm saying? You do or you do. As simple as that. So Bukayo Saka definitely starts. And of course, leading the line, it has to be our Brazilian magician. It has to be Gabi Jesus. He has earned his spot. Eddie has been playing good football, don't get me wrong. But let's be real. If we are in the North London derby and we want to take it seriously and smash Spurs and batter them from pillar to post like we love to do, then Gabi starts up front. Would I be upset if Eddie started up front? I wouldn't be upset. I'd be confused. Because the reality is Gabi is our number one striker and Eddie is our number two. And if anyone thinks any different to that, then I'm not sure what team you've been watching. So, yeah, so from that point of view, so we've got, I personally think that Raya starts. But if Rambo starts, it just proves my point that Arteta is sticking to his guns. But I honestly think Raya is the better keeper, so I think he starts. White, talking about his new contract, he starts. Saliba, Gabi Magalhaes and Zinni. We have Rice at the base. That's the strong anchor man. We've got Havertz, we've got Odegaard, we've got Saka on the right. We've got either Trossard, ESR, or Reece Nelson on the left, and we've got Gabi, our number 9, through the middle. So I think that is what we're going to go with as far as our formation. Now, also, I think subs. So subs, I think Tommy is going to come on, and he'll come on for Zinni. I think Vieira will come on, and he will come on for Odegaard. I think Eddie will come on for Gabi, and I think Jorginho will come on for Rice. That's how I envisage the subs to go as well. Now, again, you could go either way with Eddie. If Gabi's having a great game and he's banging in goals for fun, then I wouldn't be swapping out Gabi unless it's late in the game. And in that situation, obviously, Eddie will get replaced by ESR. Now, not up front, but that's who will get replaced by. Now, my prediction is if Spurs come to Arsenal and they attempt to play ANGE ball against us at the Emirates, we spank them. We spank them 3-0. And we do that if Ray is in goal. If Ramsdale's in goal, then we win 3-1. That's the difference that Raya has, in my opinion. That is the difference. It's that one goal that we keep leaking. And let's be real, guys. If we want to win and beat Man City and want to be that really consistent top 2 team and obviously move on to be the beast in the park, the number 1, we have to have more clean sheets. That's just the reality. We have to have more clean sheets. Now, you can score, everyone said, you need between 85 and 94 goals to win a Premier League. And I agree with that. But if you're scoring those goals, but you're letting in, more than 32, 33 goals a season, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. You are not properly ready to take on the role as the big bad wolf. You're just not, because you cannot let in that amount of goals. So clean sheets are really, really important. And I think a lot of people don't really put a lot of emphasis on that, but I well and truly absolutely do. You have to have clean sheets to win a premiership. Simple as that. Now, if they don't come to us and play ANGE ball, and they do sit back and try to hit us on the counter, then I think we win 2-0. But again, if David Raya is in goal, if Rambo's in goal, I think we win 2-1. So we are back. It is a North London derby. We have got rid of the Goodison curse. It's gone. It's over. We beat Everton at home and it's done. So now we batter Spurs, we take our 3 points and we move. That's how we operate. So I want to get your guys' feedback on everything I've said. I'd love you to leave a comment on any of the things you agree or disagree on. If you like what you hear, then please smash the comments. Smash the likes, drop us some comments. If you like the content, go ahead and use your finger or thumb and push that subscribe button. My name's Mitch. This is Grandad Gunner TV, and I'm out.